Okay then, we here for it. Happy Tuesday. Oh yeah. Yep, definitely one of them. I hope when you start your day you exercise gratitude. Hope you took the time to put them hands together and pray. Just thank God for waking you up this morning, for him giving you mercy and grace again, because you're breathing. Somebody was promised that they would see somebody today and they didn't. Somebody thought they was gonna get to a goal or aspiration, a chore, something leisure, and they're not here no more. Something to reflect on. I noticed that we have a tendency of saying that we're grateful, but take a moment and reflect and process and look around. You have a lot to be thankful for. A lot to be thankful for. I don't think that we do that enough, because if we exercise gratitude a lot more, we won't complain. Nothing wrong with venting, nothing wrong with sharing about any type of injustice that's transpiring around you. That's probably leaving you a little vexed. Nothing wrong with that. But if you just harping on the job that you prayed for, that relationship, that marriage, that child that you prayed for, and one season, that's all you ever wanted. I was gonna get you together. You was gonna be in the best place, your oasis, your end all be all. You have it, and here you are now. 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, ready to give it up, ready to quit the job, ready to give the baby up, ready to break up. That quick, we use everything else to give us peace and serenity and solitude. But we don't go to the Prince of Peace, though. No, we don't do that. We don't take the time to do that. Not at all. Not at all. I don't understand. We look to weed. We look to alcohol. We look to pills. We look to sex. We look to clubs. We look to everything else. But where it really counts. Now, people of the faith, I just want to talk to y'all real quick. I'm so bothered and irritated on how, when you was in your other life, before you was saved, before you got baptized, how you was gang banging, you was in the streets, you was loud, when you was scheming, plotting, prostituting, hustling, whatever you was doing, or even from a work standpoint, you got promoted, became an entrepreneur, became a CEO, whatever you inspired to be, you was loud. You was loud about it. You was loud like cheap cologne. Everyone knew what you was a part of. When you started getting into sports, when you became a fighter, whatever discipline that you choose to tie to, everyone knew about it. Everyone knew about it. You even had a bumper sticker. That was you. You had a bumper sticker about it. But all of a sudden, when you converted over to the faith, now you quiet and meek. Like you in the library. Like you at a funeral. What you so quiet for? God didn't ask you to change your personality. He wants you to be just as loud, just as boisterous, just as ferocious, just as tenacious as you were when you was in the other life. But now he wants you to be that for him, for the gospel. He wants you to be loud about what he saved you from, loud within your testimonies, loud about your flaws, loud about the benefits of getting into this life. That's a thought. I've noticed that we don't put that same energy when it comes to that. We think we're supposed to be all quiet. How? Why? Then people love to present this question to me along the lines of, well, everybody just don't want to hear about God. Everybody want to hear about that man that been dragging you for the past 6 years, but you find a reason to bring him up. Everybody want to hear about that woman that been using you for the longest and have not one but two kids that's not yours. You find a way to bring it up. Anybody want to hear about that tired job that been underpaying you and making you overperform, but you find a way to bring it back up. Everybody want to hear about your political conversations, but guess what? You find a way to say it with me to bring it back up. Nobody want to hear about that family member that been doing you in that you refuse to say no to. Nobody want to hear about that restaurant that you go to all the time that you complain about to give you food poison. But guess what you do? You find a way to bring it up. When we come to God, that's exactly what I'm right there. Just like that. Somebody said they want to hear about it. You can be that example. You can walk it. You can talk. You can share your testimonies. Why are you so shy and bashful? You treat God like he's your last resort, but instead of treating him like your first response. If you leaned on him more, you wouldn't stress so much. You won't lose your edges. You won't lose your hairline. You'll actually have some form of stewardship, and you actually have more money. People always want to pray for more money, but you don't know how to maintain the money that you have. You have a spending habit, a spending problem. That's the real issue. We put so much energy into what God needs to do for you. God timing is not yours. You idolize your own timeline, and then you get mad because he's not moving at your pace. Could it be he wants you to change your attitude? Could it be he want to take out the ignorance within you, the bitterness, the unforgiveness, the mommy womb, the daddy womb? This is a thought. Because the area that you're trying to get to, that area going to have to be detoxed. Because if not, you're going to contaminate what you are expecting God to build. Definitely is. See, we don't think about that. Imagine your kid at 7 years old asking for a car. Of course, you want to get the child a car, but first you want to make sure they mature enough and know how to drive, understand the laws first, all right? Before you drive, technically they give you a book, right? To learn, right? Learn the laws, learn the signs. Then the driver come next, all right? Then comes the driver's license after the permit. But you got a permit though, right? Why would you think it'd be different from anything else? Why would you think that? We like to skip the process when they come to math before you get to subtraction, multiplication, division, decimal, all that good stuff. You have to learn what? Addition and subtraction first, all right? Order of operations. We like to skip that because we want what we want now. Amazon delivery, UPS delivery. It doesn't work like that. It'll never work like that. If you have to get something so easy and you don't have to work or do no type of adjustments, just know it didn't come from God. Because God give you instruction and direction and provision. And when it's coming from you, you don't have to lose anything. You don't have to lose your sanity. You know the only thing God trying to take from you? Your pride, your doubts, your idols. You know what the enemy try to take from you? Your confidence, your competence, your faith over everything. You won't take your belief system. That's something that we gotta be mindful about. These infractions that's occurring in our life is not always the enemy. Sometimes it's your insecurities. Sometimes it's your doubt. Sometimes it's your abandonment issue. Sometimes it's your rejection that you haven't healed from. And you coming out here on stage ready to change the whole world, but you haven't changed your mentality on things. Things are going to continue to happen, but with God, what I've learned, he never said you wasn't going to go through anything. He said he's going to preserve you in it. The Hebrew boys, he didn't say they wasn't going in the furnace. He preserved them in it. They went in the lion's den. He preserved them in it. Joseph, when he went to the pit to the palace, he preserved them in it. See, we was taught so much in these churches, synagogues, and temples how God's going to bless, but we didn't talk about the long suffering, the work, the persecution, the ridicules that we're going to go through. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to own a business, but yet you snap at the first person that put on a comment that goes against what you like. You have anger issues, big bro, miss ma'am. You ready to crash out over somebody who gave you the wrong order on your food. And you think you want to run a $1 million enterprise with that attitude? You think you know when or when not to speak up? Right. And that explains all the doctor's bills, all the bail money, all the friends you lost. That explains that. Your attitude. You don't want to change your attitude, but you want everybody else to adapt to who you are. That is who you are. No, it's not. That's what pain, depression, divorce, neglect cause. That's what formed. You was formed out of trauma. And now you're surviving. You're not thriving. And you're mad because people don't understand you. Right. That wound needs ointment, not a Band-Aid. It's them arteries that's clogged up. It's gonna need surgery. It's gonna need surgery. It's gonna need surgery. It's not gonna take a pill. It's gonna need surgery. And the purpose of a surgery is to what? To cut that out of you, though, right? That's how God works with us. Pruning is gonna be two things gonna happen with God when He cut. He's gonna shape you as well as remove something out of you. But you gotta get cut. You got to. You can't be of the faith and all godly Sunday, but then Monday through Saturday, you're doing everything else. This is why people are so irritated of people of the faith, because they're not mad at God. They see the fact that you're governing yourself the way they are right now, and then Sunday, you all dignified. Sunday, you got your Sunday's best song. Sunday, you crying out. You can speak in tongues, but you can't speak to your family members. You can lead a choir, but you can't lead your spouse. You can shout for the pastor, but you can't shout when your kids done something that was outside of sports. When they clean their room, we so loud about the disrespect, but quiet what they supposed to do. That's random. It's something for us to reflect on. We got to start practicing what we preaching, and we got to work on it. I get it. We all work in progress, and we all can't get it right, and we all have our struggles, but we have to continue seeking His face. You want to focus on the heart transformation and not the facelift. Don't focus on looking the part. Actually be the part. Forgiving fast as possible. Apologizing fast as possible. Repenting fast as possible. It goes a long way. A lot of y'all blessings is tied to letting go. When you let go of that person, when you let go of those ill feelings, when you let go that vindictive nature about yourself that you feel somebody should have based on how they treated you. Life is a classroom, not a coffin. You still living, you still got learning to do. Just a thought. Want people to reflect on that. Big business.